Good morning and thank you for joining me. This is John Elder from Five Dog Digital Marketing, and in today's video, I wanted to show you how you can have your cake and eat it too. By that, I mean, how do you invest in your business and still pull out more money than you put in? So, this video will be about how to turn your business into a cash machine. This slide at the top that we're starting with is basically all the different marketing channels that you could be using in your business. You want to obviously start with ranking your website decently so you can grab some organic traffic. Then you want to work your way into ads, online listings like your Psychology Today profile and its 300 ugly cousins. Then you want to start doing pay-per-click ads. You could be using Facebook and Google retargeting ads. And there's even some cool exotic stuff you could be doing with YouTube and Instagram. So that's a little more high level. So we want to start at the bottom. First thing we want to look at is your website, your Google My Business profile, your socials, and your profiles. As you can see, I have somewhat repurposed Maslow's work here for our purposes. And the cornerstone of the entire pyramid is your website. Everything points back to your website. Your social medias point back to your website. Your Google My Business references your website. All of your profiles point back to your website. So you really want that to be able to hook your reader and get them to call you. You want that thing to convert. Otherwise, what's the point? So, in order to get people to your website, these are all great channels for driving traffic. However, ultimately, you want to be easy to be found. You want people to plug in therapist near me and find you quick and easy. So that's where SEO comes in. Search engine optimization is the process of cleaning up all the red flags on your site, feeding Google all the little indicators that it wants to see in order to favor you over the rest, so that you can elevate to page one status where all the clicks are at and start getting a little more selective about your clientele. Now, the part that I'm going to talk about here in this video, in the Have Your Cake and Eat It Too strategy, combines paid ads with SEO, because a properly managed paid ad campaign should have a solid enough ROI on it that it not only pays for your SEO costs, but it will also leave you with a positive ROI at the end. So basically you're investing $1 and you're pulling $3 out. It's like a magic money machine. So follow with me here. 90% of pages on the internet get no traffic from Google. There's something called list bias that some of you may be familiar with. It's the tendency for people to automatically favor the top results on a rank ordered list. They naturally assume number one's the best, number two's okay, number three, and then beyond that, they just don't even bother looking at. So it actually drops exponentially, 50% to 50% to 50%. So by the time you're at the bottom of page one, you're getting like 2% of searchers, and no one's going to page 2+ unless they are specifically looking for a particular person. That's just kind of how the data plays out. So how do we get where the traffic's at so people can actually find you and start calling you? These are some of the indicators that Google wants to see. Google wants to see, let's start at the big ones here. Consistent publication of high quality content. This is adding service pages to your website. This is adding location pages to your website. This is adding consistent weekly blogs to your website. And when you're doing any or all of these things, the first step is to do your keyword research. Keyword research is going to tell you exactly what words and phrases people are plugging into Google in order to find results that they're looking for. So if you knew that therapist near me had 20,000 searches, yet therapist in Miami had only 6, which one would you try to rank for? Obviously the first one. So that's the goal of SEO. Find the right terms that people are actively looking for in mass Get that sweet spot between a high search volume and a low keyword difficulty, and there's your golden ticket right there. So you want to get those keywords and weave them into those blogs, weave them into the content, weave them into the extra pages you're building, and then utilize linking. You want to link them all together so that people can easily navigate your website without having to search. If someone reads on the main page a couple paragraphs about CBT and they're curious about it, they want to be able to click somewhere right about near the end of the paragraph to jump to that page. If they have to go up to the header, search through the menu and everything, they're just going to get bored and click away. So expert layout is key to retaining people on your website longer so that they have better user engagement. And that is also another factor that we're touching on right here. And when you do all these things together, it demonstrates niche expertise. So the more you can say about who you are, what you do, and why people should come to you, the better off Google's going to favor you, because you're demonstrating that you are the authority in the area. And then once you have all that in place, SEO works to build links to feed those. This is like your Psychology Today and its 300 ugly cousins. There's plenty of directories out there. There's plenty of opportunities for guest posting blogs, and there's like many other tactics for getting links built. I have another video on that. I will share that as well. Make a note of that. I'll put it in the comments below. And then we get into the smaller ones, but these are factors that are pretty much baked into the web design itself. So when I look at a website, I generally look at these things. So we'll touch on that in a second. So the idea behind SEO is to basically turn your business listing from this to this. Now, what are you looking at here? This is called a heat map. So basically, like if I was right here and I plugged in where the pin is, and I plugged in therapist near me, you might be number 20 right here, but you might be like number 1 over here. So it not only depends on how well you rank for a term, but how well you rank in a certain area for a certain term. So what we do is basically get you from position 20, which is basically the top of page 2. There's 20 listings on a page, to number 2, so that you are right up there where all the traffic's at, and that boosts things exponentially. Here's what that would look like. This would basically be you. When someone Googles therapist Miami, Florida, one thing you'll probably notice if you actually try this, you won't get halfway through therapist and it'll automatically change that to therapist near me. So that is another great keyword you want to rank for. Anyway, the process is designed to basically over time get you into this position where you get a ton of traffic coming through your site. And with that, you can afford to have higher rates. You can afford to be more selective about the particular people you work with. And ultimately, you're going to be filling your practice and making up for any kind of lost clients, churn rate, anything that comes down the pipe. You'll have a waiting list and you'll be booked out solid. So that's the idea there. So how do we do it? First thing I do is look at your website, as that is the foundation that everything's built on. So I'm going to be looking at your domain authority. I'm going to be looking at offsite SEO indicators. I'm going to be looking at your trust flow, citation flow, all these indicators. So request a site audit in the comments below, and I'll be happy to run your site and take a look and shoot you a video telling you exactly what red flags I see or any other factors that are preventing you from ranking well. Now, basically, the cornerstone of the have your cake and eat it too strategy is utilizing, like I said before, ads and SEO. Now, this chart kind of paints the picture of how this works. Ads are going to be basically a flat line. Depending on your ad spend, say if you're dropping $1,000 a month on ads, just the ad spend portion to Google, that's going to drop like maybe 20, 30 clients in your lap every month consistently. Now, what you do is you invest in the SEO with some of that and you watch it grow. as the SEO goes over time, it keeps getting better and better as you keep going higher and higher in the search rankings. And done properly, a well-managed ad campaign should have enough ROI in it in order to not only fund the SEO portion, but also leave you with a positive ROI on top. So that's the icing on the cake right there. By running your ads, you're basically getting your SEO paid for from the revenue from the ad clients, plus you're still coming out ahead. So that's the win-win. That's the have your cake and eat it too. The thing where most people trip up is they're paying for the ads, they're paying for the SEO, they're getting their positive ROI, but they're still nitpicking the SEO and thinking, it's been 2-3 months, this isn't working. Well, with SEO, you got to think quarterly. It's a long game move. It's a blue chip stock. It's Microsoft. It's not going to be doing any wild movements. But over the course of 5-10 years, that sucker is going to pay off big. So you want to think of it that way. Think of ROI in quarterly terms and think long-term growth. This is a 1-year prediction. So this is kind of how things look. So that pretty much paints the picture there. Don't jump ship too early. Check in, keep an eye on things. As I work with clients, I generally make them privy to that same dashboard I showed you earlier. They get their own login here and they can track all their metrics in real time. The tool is linked directly to Google Analytics, Google Search Console. It's set to automatically run website audits every month. And it also tracks all the link building campaigns and offsite SEO right there. So you can log in and check it anytime you want and see the exact same thing I do. So it's impossible for me to blow smoke up your butt. So with all that said, how much does this cost? I know you're thinking it. So I'm going to run some generic numbers here and explain this chart to you. My mentor actually made this after his 20-year career, and he's refined it down and it's proven to be very useful. So we are looking at the mental health niche. Miami, SEO cost of $2,000 a month because it's a 5 million person metro area. So obviously what's going to work for a small town of 1,200 people isn't going to work for a town of 5 million. So this city is going to have a much more sturdy, robust SEO campaign because it's going to take a lot more work. There's a lot of labor involved. And the PPC, pay-per-click ads, those come at a cost of $750 a month because we literally build out multiple ads and monitor them constantly, refine them, tweak them, and continue to work on them in order to boost your ROI, return on investment, so that you're getting the best return on investment you possibly can. So when I did a little looking for therapist, I made the assumption, I'm trying to lowball things here, stop doing that you would close about 50% of your calls that come in. Then I looked for the average hourly rate in Miami, and it says about 150 is about average for Miami. So if you're charging less than that, you're short selling yourself. And if you're giving 40% to a group therapy practice, you may want to consider going out on your own. You could be making a lot more. So that makes your average client, your new client, which is generally a weekly client, about $600 a month. So with the main keywords cost per click averaging about 2.25, and let's lowball the conversion rate on the ads and just say you're only hitting 10%, which is garbage. We do a lot better than that. But for the sake of the metrics here, I'm lowballing it. And let's say you put $1,000 into your ad campaign. So that's, stop doing that. That's what you're giving to Google to run ads. So what's that look like? That looks like getting 44 pay-per-click leads at a cost of $22.50 a head, which is ridiculously good. That's website visitors from SEO creeping up from 0 to 68 to 135 to 203. And you can see that visitor rate just keeps getting better and better, meaning you're going to be capturing more clients from that. So SEO deals. You start out not too good, then you start getting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it just starts taking off. So that's where you want to be watching. And pay-per-click deals at $1,000 a month, that's going to drop 22 people in your lap every month consistently. Meaning, at $600 a month per head, that's $13,333 in revenues. Now, minus your marketing expenses right here, that leaves a profit margin of $9,887 for a return on investment of 3.64. And of course, as the SEO gets better, your ROI only gets better as well because you're closing even more gigs. So that is how you grow things crazy fast and crazy good. Another thing I wanted to show you real quick, a quick little ad campaign. We've only had this running for 24 hours now, and we've already got 340 leads out of it. So that is one thing worth taking a look at when we're looking at someone to run ads effectively and manage them properly for good ROI. So that's kind of how the have your cake and eat it too strategy works. You're basically going to be paying for ads, which are going to drop enough clients in your lap that you can be more selective, you can charge more, you can make a good profit off that. And with that profit, you can afford to fund your SEO campaign and still have plenty left over at the end of the day. So if this is something that sounds interesting to you, by all means, feel free to reach out to me. My contact information is below. And also don't forget to hit like and subscribe for more content. I'm putting out videos at least 2 or 3 times a week on all aspects of digital marketing, web design, SEO, all the above. So feel free to hit me up in the comments, like and subscribe for more material, and I'll see you in the next video.